You can just see the damage done to the backside of these townhomes. When fire crews got here around 11 last night, all they could see was just the building engulfed in flames. Leaders with the Alamance Burlington school system announced the new school year will be pushed back again. Instead of students returning on Tuesday, classes will now begin on September 11th. Here at the Mail Processing Center in Greensboro, thousands upon thousands of mail is currently being sorted. Right, so the Mountaintop Youth Camp has been evacuated. Here at Camp Haynes, though, they have not evacuated just yet, but you can see the smoke is coming down that mountain, and the executive director here said it was farther away, you know, last night and over the weekend, and it has moved down quite a bit. But, you know, they are monitoring that and working with the Forestry Service. And speaking of sports, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers playing today. I have to mention it whenever I'm with Jacqueline.
I know. We are two Pittsburgh girls doing your news here down in North Carolina.
Yes. Proud of it. Sorry, Panthers fans, but we're true to our home team. Yeah. Well, according to police, the 20-year-old driver was driving up Rockford Street here when he hit William Harris, who was crossing the street from the Speedway gas station to get back home. Now, Harris's family said that this is a well-lit area and a lot of people walk here. They said this never should have happened to him. Thomasville police are searching for two people accused of attacking a 75-year-old man. The victim was rear-ended on Unity Street by this vehicle last Friday. You can see it right here. And a little cool fact, I was actually at the Rose Bowl parade performing in it when I was in high school. Well, these are just some of the horses that were seized from Southern Star Farm. And as you can see, a lot of the horses have their ribs and hip bones showing. All right, Michelle, it is New Year's Day, so I have to put the hat on.
I love it.
Every single day on the first day of school, my mom would make us pose in front of something, and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna keep them and not show them, and now we're showing them on TV. So we have been hearing from Darius all morning, who was inside the Strickland Center when they got that alert from Forsyth Tech. Darius, can you just, you know, retell us what was going through your mind when you got that tech alert? You can just see the damage done to the backside of these townhomes. When fire crews got here around 11 last night, all they could see was just the building engulfed in flames.
We do have heavy smoke and flames visible from the Charlie side. We're going to be in the aggressive attack mode, offensive attack mode.
This is video of Winston-Salem fire crews first arriving on scene around 11 Monday night. They say it took about 15 minutes to get the flames under control.
Someone started yelling fire after they rapidly rang my doorbell.
Firefighters said after getting the fire under control, they found 76-year-old Paul Rutledge dead inside his unit. That unit has the most extensive damage out of the 5 total there. 3 people are now displaced, including Andrew Kiger, who just moved in at the start of this year.
Luckily, I was still halfway awake and caught my attention very quickly, because I don't know what would have happened if not. It's just unreal. It was a nightmare.
Now he and the others affected are meeting with adjusters and insurance agents, trying to figure out the next steps.
So it's a lot of damage. I hate it for the people that have to go through this. Usually when ServPro comes in, it's never a pleasant thing to deal with mitigation companies. I always tell people when we're done, we hope that you don't have to see us again.
ServPro officials said the people that live in this building will probably be displaced anywhere from 6 months to a year, and the Winston-Salem Fire Department is still investigating a cause at this time. In Winston-Salem, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News. Well, these are just some of the horses that were seized from Southern Star Farm. And as you can see, a lot of the horses have their ribs and hip bones showing, and even their spine showing as well.
So you can see all his individual vertebrae pop up, and then his hip bone should not be protruding like that.
Mary McCashin has cared for horses for a long time.
And she's got sores on this side from where she laid down, and so they were sores. And then all this should be fat.
So when Davie County Deputy Sheriff James DeWitt with Davie County Animal Services called and asked for help seizing malnourished horses from a farm, she jumped into action.
For us, there was a huge relief in knowing that these animals went from being terrified and scared to they're safe and they're fed and they're allowed to just be horses right now.
Deputy DeWitt said they've been investigating complaints about the condition of horses at Southern Star Farm for a long time. Since the news of the arrests and seizure came out, Several people have come forward saying their horses looked improperly cared for when they were boarded there.
The care of the horses were going downhill. The feeding of the horses were going downhill. We would go and the water buckets were bone dry, and they have to have water 24/7.
When I went the last time to see my horse, she had green drainage coming out of her nose. She was running a fever, and she was literally a skeleton. So I made the decision with my mother to go look at other barns. We moved her within a week, and she has made a full recovery.
And Deputy DeWitt is asking for any information related to these cases. So if you have any information, you're asked to call him. You're also asked to call him if you would like to give a donation to help these horses. In Davie County, Maria DeBone, WXII 12 News. I'm Maria DeBone in for Jackie Pascal here with Jacqueline Shear. Jacqueline, big, weekend. We got Halloween festivities. What can we expect weather-wise for it?
Throughout most of the day today, things aren't too bad, but Halloween itself is still a little tricky.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Now, breaking overnight, 3 people are injured after shots were fired in Winston-Salem. Police say first a man was shot in the arm while in a vehicle on North Patterson Avenue. The victim told police someone fired shots toward a building in a vehicle. Then on East 17th Street, a woman told police a bullet hit her home. She wasn't hit by the bullet, but does have a small cut from glass. Police say around 3:30 this morning, they identified a third victim, a minor who showed up at the hospital after they were shot in the foot. A tragedy in South Korea. More than 150 people have died after a stampede broke out. At least 80 others were injured, according to the Associated Press. They say people were out celebrating Halloween when a crowd surged into a narrow street. Some people fell and were trampled. This is the country's worst disaster in years. Crews are still working to identify the victims and figure out exactly what happened. New overnight, police in Danville, Virginia have identified a suspect accused of shooting and killing a man at a mall. Police say Christian Pickney shot a man at a sports shop around 7 last night. They're still looking for him this morning. Officers say the man killed was Tyshawn King. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Police believe the shooting was isolated, but do say Pickney is considered armed and dangerous. One person has died after an early morning crash in Eden yesterday. Police say a driver was on East Meadow Road at North Hale Street when they went off the road and hit 2 telephone poles. Police say the car caught fire. A passenger inside died.